What's going on, you guys? So you guys probably saw the news around the boxing world right now that Jaime Munguia tested positive for a banned substance, testosterone, in his rematch against Bruno Soros. And to a lot of people this may be surprising, but to me it's really not that surprising, just because of who Jaime Munguia has teamed up with now. We've known that Eddie Reynoso's camp, quite a bit of his fighters have been caught for using PEDs. I mean, his most prominent fighter in his stable, Canelo, tested positive years ago for clenbuterol. Then you had Oscar Valdez test positive. Ryan Garcia tested positive, though he wasn't a part of Team Canelo at the time when he did test positive. But a lot of people were suspecting that Ryan Garcia was on juice during his time with Reynoso. But all in all, man, a lot of people may be surprised, but like I said, I'm not surprised just because of who he's teamed up with. And if we're going to be completely honest, not only Jaime Munguia and Team Canelo, there's lots of other fighters, lots of other just professional athletes in general that are on, steroids. I mean, it's a lot more common than I think people think. But the moment you get caught for a banned substance like a Canelo, Jaime Munguia, or Oscar Valdez, I mean, there's no denying or, arguing the fact that you're a drug cheat, because you are. I mean, you got caught. So, I mean, already a lot of people are going to come to the defense of Canelo and, Eddie Reynoso and that whole camp, just for saving face and, blaming Jaime Munguia for his own decision of taking steroids. But, I mean, this news is going around the whole boxing world, and I think the biggest reason is, like I mentioned, is he's part of Team Canelo. He's trained by Eddie Reynoso. And one interview that I seen that I found pretty interesting was Jamal Charlo. He did an interview with Fight Hype, and he was suspecting that Canelo Alvarez is probably still on clenbuterol, right? I mean, he did test positive for clenbuterol before the rematch with Triple G, right? It's funny that he was going into the rematch just like Jaime Munguia was going into the rematch, and both got caught for steroids. But nonetheless, man, he had some interesting things to say. He said a lot of these fighters are taking certain, steroids that, and I don't think Jamal Charlo is really that well educated in using steroids, or at least he, is trying to act like he's not. I've suspected Jamal Charlo of using steroids in the past. But nonetheless, he had some things to say along like the lines of, oh, they taper off, or they're microdosing these steroids and this, that, and they make certain gear that is undetectable and this, that, and the other. And he was suspecting that Canelo's still on the juice, right? And I believe that. I guarantee there are certain substances out now that are completely undetectable, and that, in order to not get detected, you have to take a certain amount, That's why a lot of these professional athletes have, like, guys like, Victor Conti, who isn't in the, steroid business anymore. He did his time, and I think he, learned from his mistakes. But you look at a Victor Conti, dude was a genius. He had the most undetectable steroids on the market and had a huge clientele, right? So I'm sure that there's another mad chemist out there, a Walter White of steroids, that we don't even know about, that is supplying all kinds of gear to our favorite fighters, our favorite professional athletes, so on and so forth. So is it beyond reason that, there are certain substances out like Jamal Charlo's suggesting there are, and, certain individuals are still on these substances? No, I mean, I don't think that's out of the question. I think those things all could be true. I was surprised that he even said these things, but nonetheless, man, we've seen certain things in the past that also caught our attention. I think Earl Spence, not too long ago, dropped a tweet saying he could be gone from the sport for 2 years, cycle, and then taper off months before getting into training camp, and no one would even know. So maybe this is just a wake-up call, not only to us boxing fans that, like, hey, a lot of these guys are using steroids, and then the other wake-up call could be to, you know, the athletic commissions for, you know, getting a little bit more stricter testing done, right? They need to step their game up. If they're really trying to prevent, you know, fighters and athletes from taking banned substances, then they probably need to do a little bit more, I guess, stricter drug testing. But it depends on who you are. You know, if you're a big cash cow like Canelo Alvarez, the chance of you really getting caught with the banned substance are kind of rare, because you get caught and suspended, you're not bringing money in, right? And I think that's probably what's happened since Canelo Alvarez has gotten caught for steroids. I mean, I suspected he was juicing during his whole 168-pound title run, where he was just stopping everybody. You know, that's when I thought he was completely juiced out of his mind. But who knows? He never got caught, you know, during that time. He did get caught when he was at 160 pounds, about to fight Triple G, but that's in the past, right? So that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this latest news. Is this a bad look, not only on Jaime Munguia, but on Team Canelo and Eddie Reynoso? And do you think that Canelo Alvarez is still using clenbuterol? Let me know. Hate, like, comment, subscribe.